If you're thinking about moving to Greenville area, or maybe you are already looking at homes in Winterville, there is one thing might probably keeping you at night. That is the commute.
We get it. Nobody here wants to come all the way to North Carolina and then get stuck in traffic. But here's the reality where you might not understand. We tell our clients every single day, when you have a job at ECU Health, maybe you have a job at Thermo Fisher, your first instinct might be, I need to live right next to my work. I want to be 5 minutes away. But you're probably thinking about it completely wrong. You can have the big yard, the custom brick home, highly rated schools, and still get to your desk before your coffee gets cold. And that would be actually here in Winterville.
Exactly. Therefore, especially if you're working at the university or hospital, ECU hospital or university, or you're working at the Thermo Fisher or Heister or one of the pharmaceutical company in Greenville, and you wanted to know, that's what we wanted to dive into. What's going on and what are the price points are for those neighborhoods that not only save you money but also helps you with the commute and the safe neighborhood.
Now, I really kind of focus on this video to be in the homes that are between $300,000 to $600,000 range, because you're probably looking for rent and you're probably thinking, I want a quarter acre. But let's be honest, you need that space because it might sound like you're going to be living in your home, so you have to actually live in the home. And you want to save yourself a lot of searching and looking around the Thermo Fisher and saying, okay, let's talk about that drive. Let's really talk about that, because if you live in other places, what is it?
Exactly. Therefore, if you're moving from a massive city, let's say Atlanta or Washington, D.C., you're going to laugh at what we call here traffic. No, but Winterville honestly is exceptionally convenient. We ran to actual numbers, not just the GPS at midnight, but the real commute times here.
Now if you're working on Thermo Fisher over there on Martin Luther King Jr. Highway, you're talking about a 6-mile drive. That's about 10 minutes. That is, you'll probably finish maybe 2 songs on the radio in that 10 minutes. If you're going to ECU, how long is it?
If you're looking, it's like 7 miles, and this is 11 minutes door to door. And for anyone that is a medical center ECU, you're looking at tops 8 miles.
And that's about a 12-minute drive.
Exactly.
And now this is really things to talk about. The traffic is going to be pretty light. We have multiple ways to get to different places. You have options. It is not just everybody stuck on one road. It's not simple. It's pretty easy actually. And when you realize you don't have to live right next to where you work, you can now care about those school zones, which is the second thing people care about when they call me like, oh, we're moving, we have a job. Now I really have to care about those schools. And that is the second thing they tell me, and I tell them, what schools do you want? And then they're going to tell me. What do they typically tell me?
Exactly. Well, I wanted to mention, many of people call us Alan Victoria, oh, I'm working at the hospital or something related to a hospital. I wanted to be there because I wanted to be in and out with my job. As we said, the commute is top 15 minutes. Now, if you have the keys, we wanted to talk really what is important is schools for you. And that's what we wanted to tap also to talk about the school district that might be desirable for you, or if you did some research on greateschool.com or niche.com to give you a better pictures of what we are looking at.
And now most people are going to call us and say, I only want these specific schools. And they don't really look at the other schools because they went to those websites. They're going to say Wintergreen, Hope, Conley. And that's just what we always hear about that. And I understand those are great schools. But here's the catch. Those are places where the inventory is going to be the tightest, and depending on your budget. But we can still find you the right home. But if that is your absolute priority, of course we're going to focus in on that. Now, I will also say the other schools are still good. There are other schools, maybe something else is 2 out of 3, and we have to think about what you want, what's best for you. Now, also, don't use Zillow to look at those school zones because they get it wrong a lot. Really look at the official websites of the Pitt School Zone Finder because, you should know that. Verify your address every single time. So let's now talk about those neighborhoods.
Exactly. Therefore, we wanted to talk about neighborhood that actually might fit the school zone that you were looking at. For example, the first thing that we wanted to talk about is Irish Creek. For many of the buyers that are really looking at the houses that have the feel of the custom built home and all brick and stately architectures, Irish Creek with the school zone of the Hope for middle school and Wintergreen for elementary school could be a desirable. And also most of the houses that you're looking, they have more than 1/4 acres of land, and some of them even they have up to third of an acre of land.
3 acres.
3 acres of
3
land,
acres.
sorry. And it seems very prestigious and it feels very established neighborhood. And what is the price
The
point?
price point is going to be about $490,000 to film you this video. Maybe it's more by the time you come, maybe it's less. I don't know the future, but I can tell you that the budget for those homes are going to be there, because when those listings typically pop up, there's 140 homes in the area, and people who are looking for that area are going to be specifically targeting that area. But now let's talk about other areas. We're going to talk about Pinder, Brook Valley, Cherry Oaks, Tucker Estates, Lindale. These places are iconic. Why do people love them?
And people love them because you get the massive private yard. You get the big trees, and someone on Reddit actually said they cannot recommend Lindale enough. They said that it's absurdly close to everything, but you still get a good privacy.
Now let's talk about the price points of this one, because the price point is going to be between $350 to $450. And it's a great alternative if you don't want that cookie cutter new construction area. But let's talk about new, because there are some new places talking about as well.
Exactly. Therefore, we wanted to talk about the Fire Tower Road area, and this whole corridor is a hub right now. Neighborhood like Eastern Pines, Portertown, and going out of the Greenville or vicinity of the Greenville is a Simpson area. It's a mix. It's have a newer stuff. Also, you have the older stuff too. If you're looking at the houses that are already in established neighborhood. A local will tell you really explore this area because there's so much of variety. But word of a caution, what is that?
Well, basically you should always do your research, because some people are going to have different opinions on different things. But if you're looking for older, well-established homes, be a little careful with other areas. But if you're looking for those older, well-established homes, that's another option. Just always make sure when we're talking about homes with crawl space, we are really getting a good inspection.
Exactly.
Because that is really the bones of the house and the underlaying of the house. We want to make sure it's there. And some people are going to tell us, I don't want old bones, I want new everything, and that's cool too. That's what we're going to talk about now.
Exactly. Now we covered those. Now we wanted to also tell you, check out the Copper Creek right now in Winterville. Why? Because Copper Creek already have established homes, which actually Kavanaugh and Kate's they built it in some the area till up to 2018, and from 2020 actually Adams Home started building phase 1 and phase 2, and now they're working on the phase 3 and phase 4 that is going to come in 2026 and 2027, those homes.
And for whatever reason, I will say Ridgewood Farms has been getting a lot more of at least our clients' attentions if they want to work in the medical district than Carter Ridge, which is another new community that will be there. Prices are absolutely great in all of them. You can get a townhome for $240, and you can go off to pretty much a little under $400. They're $300 and something. But with those situations, you're getting a modern floor plan. Everything is new, so you're not stressed about this. You can just go to the hospital and come home. So super easy leaving. Winterville in the areas are really just where a lot of people who want to commute but then get home choose, because we're talking 10 to 12 minutes from your employer.
Exactly.
Minutes.
Therefore, it really comes down to your lifestyle. Do you want the land? Do you want the low maintenance? Do you want a school zone? And figure out which builder to trust. There are a lot of things to think. That's why we are here. Me and my wife, Alan Victoria, real estate agent in Greenville, North Carolina and Winterville, North Carolina. So we can help you to make a right choice for your family.
So we can't wait to make sure that you're, to connect. Don't forget to subscribe in the videos below. Subscribe above. Read the description below, because we have tons of links, including how to connect with us. And I can't wait to see you in the next video. And then trust us to guide you.